Good afternoon. We're going to look at some very basic things in Excel right now. We're going to look at having a workbook open, looking at a worksheet, and starting to enter some very basic information and numbers and such into that worksheet. We've looked at the general environment. We've had a look at the window to see the tabs and ribbons and such. We see the columns and rows here, columns marked by letters, rows by numbers, and of course a cell is simply the intersection of a column and a row, and it's indicated by a letter and a number, A1, B3, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do is, like I say, start actually putting things into cells. That's the concept. So what we'll do to begin with is go to cell B1. There's nothing magic about that cell. We'll just start there. Why not? And so we're going to type in there a couple of words. When we've typed them, please don't hit enter. Once you've typed these words, just stop. Don't hit enter. Don't do anything else. When we are to that point, I'll tell you why I asked you not to hit enter, and then also explain why we typed the two little words that we type. So those words are Outlander Spices. So we'll just type those words. Right, we have typed them in and not hit enter or anything else. The reason that I ask you not to hit enter is that often when people are typing numbers or words into a cell, they will instantly and automatically, when they're done typing, hit enter, which is sometimes what you want to do, of course, but not always. Now, before I go further on that, the reason we typed these two words is in the books that we use here for these classes. The publisher has created this little company called Outlander Spices. They're in the seasonings business, and most of the subject matter in the books relates to that. And really, I think it's a matter of they tried to pick a business that is inoffensive. Nobody here has a moral objection to cinnamon and such, for example, I suppose. So that's why we typed Outlander Spices. But now, again, we didn't hit enter. There are several things you can do instead of hitting enter. When you hit enter, of course, it causes the whatever you've just written, text or numbers, to be actually entered in the cell and be part of the worksheet. Right now, it's simply having been typed in. It's not really part of the worksheet yet. When you hit enter, it does that. It enters the data, and it moves you down one cell, and of course, sometimes that's what you want to do. Other times, you might want to move left or right or up, or not move at all. And we'll talk as we go about the different reasons you might want to do those different things. Right now, you'll notice in the formula bar, just above the column headings, you'll see what you just typed, Outlander Spices. As you see, when you type things in, they go into the cell and are shown in the formula bar while you're still on that cell. To the left of where it says Outlander Spices, we see three things. A little FX, which will actually stay. We'll use that later. We see an X, which we don't want to use right now because that would delete, that would eliminate whatever it is we just typed. We also see a check mark. That's the thing we're actually after right now. When you click that check mark, go ahead and click it, it enters the information into the cell without actually leaving the cell. There is a good reason for doing that, which we'll see as we go along. But first of all, like I said, the thing I wanted to make you aware of is the fact that you don't always hit enter. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That time, we didn't. So then we're going to enter some more things. We're going to type some things in. We'll go to cell A4. And in here, we will simply type the word month. Now, having typed it, we want to go to the next cell to the right, so rather than moving down by hitting enter. So what we're going to do is take our choice. We have either the tab key or the rightward pointing arrow key. Either of those will take us to the cell to the right. So I'm going to press the tab key and over we go. Fine. So now we're in the next cell over. Here, we're going to type Region 1. Now, I want to go down. You need to think, perhaps based on what I said before, that we hit the Enter key. But when you are typing things across a row like this, and you finish one row, and you hit enter, it'll take you to the first cell in the next row. We want to go straight down. So the best choice would be the down arrow on the keyboard. So touch that, and it moves you straight down. Here we're going to type 21000. That's fine. Then, when we finish that, we want to move to the cell to the left. So we'll use the left arrow key and move to the left one cell. In here, we will type the name of a month. We'll type January. And then, why not, hit enter. So we have put things into these cells. There are a couple things to notice at this point. One is up at the top in row 1. You'll see there we typed Outlander Spices, and it looks rather as if the word spices is in cell C1, but it's not. All of that phrase, Outlander Spices, is actually contained within cell B1. If you click on cell B1, you will see all of that content up in the formula bar. Remember, when you click on a cell, you will see the content of that cell in the formula bar. So yes, we do. If we click then on cell C1, there's nothing in the formula bar because that cell is completely empty. The idea here is that with text, and only with text, when you type something into a cell that is too wide for the width of the column, the text that is extra is allowed to spill over into cells next to the one you're typing in. Actually, I shouldn't say into, over, on top of. So that whereas it looks like the word spices is in C1, it's actually over C1. If we type something into cell C1, or there was already something there, the word spices would be hidden, not deleted. We just wouldn't see it. Now, there are ways of widening columns to eliminate that sort of issue, but right now, that's what we're seeing, that content allowed to spill over cells to the right. When it's numbers that you put into the cell, if I type like 13, 18 trillion, billion, million, it would be too wide for that column, and it wouldn't spill over. Something else would happen to it that we'll see later. Another thing to notice is farther down, we've got these 4 places where we typed in some content. One of those things is all numerals. It's a number, 21,000, and you notice it has right aligned in the cell. The others, and Outlander Spices, having letters of some sort, have left aligned. That's how that works. When you type in letters, they left align. When you type in numbers, they right align. That too can be changed, as we'll see as we go along. But that's the point right now. That's how it works. Now, another concept is we've got this region 1 typed in. We have actually 4 regions, so it's a matter of wanting perhaps to see region 2, region 3, and region 4. Now, we don't necessarily want to type region 2, region 3, region 4. We don't want to do all that work, so we're going to click on cell B4. Now, you'll notice as you move your mouse around, you've got the white cross. That's for selecting cells. We just used it for that purpose. We selected cell B4. Once we selected that cell is in a black box. Good. And at the lower right corner of it, you'll see there a very small black square at the lower right corner of cell B4. That object is known as the fill handle. So, when you take your pointer and point it right on that, precisely right on it, your white cross changes to a black cross. This means you are, in fact, on the fill handle. The fill handle will do several things. One of them is this. When it can perceive a series, such as here where it says region 1, go ahead and point at the fill handle, make sure you've got the black cross, hold down the left mouse button and drag straight across into cell E4. Then let go. And you'll see it's made region 2, region 3, region 4. It has filled the series. It's extended the series. That is a very, very handy thing, and we're about to see it do another thing. It's also very handy. If you click on A5, that's where we type January, the name of a month, obviously. Now, that could be thought of as a series, or part of a series. So point at that fill handle, Get the black cross on it. Remember the black cross, not the bit where you see the four-headed arrow, not the white cross, but the black cross. Then hold down the left mouse button and drag straight down into A16. When you let go, you've got the months of the year, January through December. It filled the series. It would have worked also with days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Also, either of those things in abbreviation, Jan, Feb, Mar, right? We could have typed Jan, and it would go on Jan, Feb, Mar, April, and then Mon, Tu, Wed, Thur. So it will fill the series.